I want to pitch you an idea I call ModuleSpec. ModuleSpec is a natural language for defining modules that will later be used to generate code by AI. But first, let's talk about some problems with current tools like Windsurf or Cursor. Today's codebases are not AI compatible. Let's be honest, they're barely human compatible. We work in sprawling jungles of code where half the important knowledge isn't written down anywhere. It lives in the heads of senior engineers or in dusty Slack threads from 2019. When we ask AI for help, it's like throwing it into that jungle, blindfolded. It doesn't know the hidden rules and unwritten contracts, the thousands of little decisions that make our system what it is. That context is scattered, unstructured, and impossible to fit into a single prompt. Or, if we're honest, we're just too tired to explain everything once again. I've been wondering, what if we flipped it around? Instead of storing code, we store this important knowledge as specs. And whenever the spec changes, we regenerate the code. If anything is missing in the generated code, we add it to the spec. There is actually a very similar GitHub research project called SpecLang. However, SpecLang seems to focus on writing a single specification for your entire software, and to be frank, I don't think this is scalable. With ModuleSpec, I want you to write a specification for every module in your software. By doing this, we are giving the AI much smaller problems to work with, giving it a much higher chance to succeed. In contrast to vibe coding, we try to stay much closer to the metal, trying to slightly increase our abstraction level while still remaining in full control over the technical implementation. What is a module then? A module is essentially an abstract concept for a file that has the ability to invoke functions in other modules, as well as provide functions to other modules. In some languages and conventions, this will be a class. In others, it will be something else. I also want to address determinism. We all know that given a very slight change in our prompt, we can get vastly different output. I don't think I have the perfect solution for this yet, but I have one idea. Specs will not just generate code, they will also generate tests. Given this, we could actually have the ability to freeze our tests, so that the tests remain the same throughout many generations. And if we regenerate the code and we see that the tests are still successful, it means that we are having a high quality and robust spec. Anyway, that's my idea. I made a very rudimentary proof of concept for a ModuleSpec generator. It's currently just a command line tool that generates your code files, but I think ideally it should be more of a VS Code extension where you could even see your code generated inline in the spec files. And I have to also say I'm not 100% confident in that this is the right solution. As a software engineer, I feel very comfortable writing code. It's so integrated into my workflow nowadays, and it feels weird to let it go. But what I do know is at least that I'm very tired of having to write wall of texts of prompts for the AI to help it to understand my codebase. And I think this is a problem that we need to somehow solve, even though I'm not 100% certain of my solution. So that said, please share your feedback, what you think about this idea, or if you have any other ideas of how we can solve this problem. And maybe also tell me how you imagine software engineering will look like in 10 years from now.